And that is exactly what those toxic relationships make you feel like you need to do. Pour from an empty cup, to come up with some water, to get something in you just so that you can give it away, just so that you can satisfy the other person, so that they won't leave, so that they'll feel like they need you, and so that you can feel like they need you. Hello cutie, welcome back, and if you are new here then hi, I'm Shavion, and we're just gonna dive right in. Our generation has been crowned the most emotionally intelligent of all, but what about our grandparents? Yeah, the ones who come from extreme division, abuse, and suppression. Yeah, the ones who raised our parents. It doesn't even take much thinking to see why a lot of us get caught in the cycle of always being the observer of love, but rarely the one experiencing it. Now this has always been my reality, a reality I can't lie and say I haven't grown accustomed to. It feels easier, more natural to allow my waters to pour into someone else, but one drop of you may cause me to freeze. As a kid, I learned quickly that the surest way to love was to keep a smile on their face, even if their actions or energy didn't show it. Surely me bringing home good grades, or being the easy child, or never saying no, or never making it worse had to make them at least feel good, right? I never have to worry about you, Shay. Well, you know, sometimes I wish you did. This topic is probably one that I'll be unpacking for a while, honestly. In a lot of ways, I've convinced myself that love wasn't made for me to receive, a belief that felt like the key to sanity in Kid Shay's eyes. I thought I was getting creative with ways to survive what I called my training arc. Though my parents were never more than a 20-minute drive away, there would be months or even years where I didn't see one or the other. What's weird is I've lived with both my mom and dad at separate points of time, but my time away from my mom from ages 6 to 15 were the worst. Like, no bullshit, I spent so many nights crying for that woman, and even now, as I'm about to turn 25 in less than 2 months, I still have the occasional nights of that sweet girl crying for her mama. Now, I just want to clarify that I do love both of my parents, especially my mom. Even though I do have a weird way of showing it, I swear it's there. But yeah, a while ago, I really dropped this expectation for them to be these generational curse breaking, cure creating superhumans, and accepted the reality of their real humanness. Like, at the end of the day, I would never understand what it's like to be 13 and black with a newborn in the environment that they were brought up in. And I just grew to simply love them for creating me and my other little me's. Now, that doesn't erase my hyper awareness of their toxicity that I've indeed picked up on, toxicity that I am actively trying to neutralize and alchemize, which is why I wanted to make this video for all the cuties who know the feeling, and as a reminder that you aren't alone and the void won't consume you, no matter how much it may pull.
And when her eyes sparkle with recognition, I'm gonna sit down next to her, I'm gonna squeeze her hand and get real close and say, "Fuck you, Mom."
What?
Yeah, I can finally tell her off. I'm gonna say, "Look at you, you old piece of shit, rotting in a nursing home. Now I have the power."
That's what you want to say to her?
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I really feel like seeing yourself as an outsider to love will keep you there. Because I know for me growing up, like, I would just see the most toxic people, the most toxic parents loving on their children, like giving them affection, holding them, just like rubbing their head. And like watching that as a kid, I'm like, damn, I have to be so much in order to get just a piece of what this child is experiencing so naturally, you know, because neither of my parents had custody of me when I was a kid, and the caregiver that they trusted me with was like just very extremely mean. The only way that I could really soothe her and like get positive acknowledgement was to bring home good grades, or keep the house clean, or take care of my siblings without complaints, and just really keep this image up and be something that always honestly felt out of reach. It always felt like I was just out of reach of the person that I needed to embody in order to experience the love that I seen so freely given to, you know, all the kids around me. I don't know, but it's just like seeing people get that affection from their parents and their family literally just made me so envious as a kid. Like, it just felt so unfair to see it. I know that I have such a big heart. I hope that there isn't anything wrong with me. It feels like maybe there is something wrong with me, because how come they get to experience this with ease, but it feels like I'm like pulling teeth just to get someone to say, hey Shay, are you okay? And for a while I really carried this like resentment and like just kind of like deep-seated annoyance for people who would just like complain about their parents or like kind of just taking the relationship for granted. But after a while I really just started to think about it, and I'm just like, Shay, like what do I really look like being mad at someone for being loved? How can I be mad at someone for being loved? I'm happy that these people didn't have to experience the things that I've had to go through. I'm happy that these people didn't have to experience that lack of love. And who knows, even though they have their two parents there, it could literally feel like they have been alone their entire life. So I really had to learn how to not allow my pain to cloud my judgment and create this just unnecessary heaviness within my spirit. It started to just genuinely make me feel like warm inside. I'm like, bruv, like this is all little Shay would have wanted, and I'm happy that you are experiencing it for the both of us. Like, I don't know, that might be a little delusional saying like for the both of us, but whatever. If that is what is gonna make my spirit lighter and it's not hurting anyone, then I'll be a little delulu.
Why do they put the skip ad button so late? I'm not gonna skip the ad now, I'm invested.
Bojack, you're driving a car right now.
Oh, right.
When you realize protecting yourself from love is what's actually keeping you from it, that's when you'll know it's time to confront those parental wounds. When we grow up in environments that teaches us that love is hard, love requires you to be strong, love requires you to sacrifice your happiness, it really creates this breeding ground for insecure attachment, people-pleasing, suppression, and just looking for that unconditional, unhealthy love any and everywhere. And it's like we have this idea in our head that abuse and love can coexist at the same time, when that is so far from the truth. But we aren't able to see the truth in the matter because we've had to put on this veil in order to survive the environments that we were once in. A veil that makes us hard, that makes us shrink and become less of who we are, so that we don't scare people away, so that we don't feel like a burden to other people, so that we aren't asking for too much, when in reality you're asking for the basics. Like, you're literally asking for the bare minimum. What you are looking for is something that all humans are entitled to, and that all humans need, and that all humans are honestly capable of giving. I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but like my jaw hit the floor when my therapist told me that love and abuse can't coexist. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? That's all it's been doing. I thought this was just the way that love works. I thought love was pain. I thought that love was supposed to hurt. Because when you're younger and your mom tells you to go pick out the belt that you want to get your ass beat with, they're gonna say, I'm doing this because I love you. I'm punishing you because I love you. And then when you're older and in different relationships, it turns into, I react this way because I love you. I treat you this way because I don't want you to leave. I'm genuinely such a loving person, and to look back in my past and just see how bad I was at loving is just like, geez. I swear there's just nothing more embarrassing than being in love. I swear there's just nothing more embarrassing than you when you're in love. Anyways, I wanted to read this definition that I got from the book All About Love, because I think it's a really good definition of love, and definitions can help us create stronger boundaries to not allow anything but that. Love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. And extending oneself generally means to go beyond one's usual limits or capabilities, either physically or mentally, often in an effort to help others or achieve personal goes. And the part that I really love about that definition is the emphasis of self first. Know that love includes you, no matter how foreign that may feel. You need to be filled first so that you may overflow and pour into other people. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And that is exactly what those toxic relationships make you feel like you need to do. Pour from an empty cup, to come up with some water, to get something in you just so that you can give it away, just so that you can satisfy the other person, so that they won't leave, so that they'll feel like they need you, and so that you can feel like they need you.
I'm gonna go hide your father's heart medication. Enjoy your dumb little TV show.
And now it's time to give yourself the environment and love that you've always needed. I really feel that when you grow up without that parental love, you have to quickly learn how to be a parent to yourself and for yourself. And the surest way to do that is to check in on yourself often. Like, no matter how good the moment is, check in on yourself. How do I feel in this moment? What do I need right now? Maybe you need some reassurance that you don't have to brace for pain after this great moment. And that level of reassurance really requires you to tap into that unconditional chest of limitless, powerful love that I keep telling y'all we have inside of us. We have that chest of love inside of us. You got to go in it and fill yourself up first, and then what? Pour onto the other people around you. And a part of that unconditional love is giving yourself space to feel everything that is inside of you, and to express it and to let it out. No more stuffing it down. Bring it up. No matter how fucking hot and uncomfortable it is, allow yourself to be angry. Allow yourself to write a letter to them, verbalize the pain that they have caused you and maybe how you want to move forward, and know that you're valid in that process of showing up for the relationship in the way that you can in this moment. But yeah, because like I used to hold way more anger. Like I used to hold so much anger in me towards my parents because it just felt so unfair, like having to grow up without them, like being there for me, like emotionally, especially as someone who's as hyper emotional and sensitive as I am. I genuinely feel like if I would have had both of them there, I'd just be a completely different person. And it's just like they constantly do things to get on my nerves, you know, like literally a great example of that is neither one of them has come to visit my very first apartment that I've had. And this is something that I have been dreaming of since I was a kid. I've always wanted my own apartment, and it's felt like such a big accomplishment for me. And I'm not someone that celebrates myself a lot. Like, it feels weird to be celebrated a lot of the times, but I feel like this was a moment that I did just want to feel just celebrated and like congratulated, and to just, you know, feel like my mom and my dad are proud of me, you know, to hear that. And I haven't been able to hear it, and it's like I know for a fact that they will go and do those things for my younger siblings, because, you know, they had them when they were a little older and understood the world a little more. I feel like my parents kind of see me as another sibling in a way, and it just has always pissed me off so much. But I think now, like, it's just sadness there and understanding. It's like kind of just like it is what it is, you know. If I really want people to come to my house, I can invite a friend over and share my space with people that, you know, really see me and already love me in the ways that I need to be loved. And honestly, addressing all of this is gonna make you such a better partner. Like, you're gonna be such a better lover for this. Like, really just sitting with that pain, sitting with that anger, sitting with that annoyance, getting it out of you. Like, me making these videos are so freeing for me. Like, y'all really don't understand. After every video and I'm reading the comments and y'all are like, you know, you aren't alone, this is my situation, you know, here are things that I've done to feel better about it. I'm like, yes, we're all rising above the pain. We're all rising above the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just get mad excited. But yeah, one final tip I want to leave y'all with that's like a little self-soothing trick for me, for my inner child, is I will literally like hug myself, and like with the hand that's right below my armpit going towards my back, I would just pat, y'all. Like, I would just pat right there, and like normally I would naturally just kind of start to rock back and forth or like side to side. And when I tell y'all, it's so fucking soothing. It really gives me a similar effect that breath work does, but it's something like a little deeper than that. I got the trick from Hitomi here on YouTube. That's my girl. I've been watching her for forever. But yeah, that's a good one, because yeah, it's all about honoring your feelings and learning to just be there for yourself instead of always craving for someone else to come and fill these voids for you.
Bojack, do you want to talk about the elephant in the room?
Wow. Okay. You know what? First of all, wow. All right. I can't even.
But yeah, I did just want to close with a question that I feel would be great for journaling, or even if you want to bring it up in conversations with a friend. How often do I find myself longing for a version of my parents that doesn't exist? How does this version of them make me feel? What do they do? How could I give this to myself now? Like, I know for me, a big one is that I literally just want to be held by my mommy. So I have bought so many pillows and plushies, and I will literally just surround myself in them, and I want to get a weighted blanket as well. And for me, that's enough. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I feel so cozy. I'll take a nice hot shower before and just fully sink into my bed and tell myself affirmations or say a prayer, and I feel held, like that need is satisfied. Honestly, I'm genuinely sorry if you can deeply relate to this deep feeling of just feeling forgotten as a child, and I just hope we're both able to step into environments that would nurture us the way that we deserve to be nurtured. But yes, that is all I have for y'all today. I hope that you enjoyed. Share it with somebody that you think it may help. Comment down below if you related to anything that I spoke on, and if you haven't subscribed already, I appreciate you for subscribing. Welcome to the fam. Cuties unite in the chat. Comment an orange heart if you have made it this far. Also, check the description if you would like to join our Discord, or check out my Pinterest, or listen to the audio version of this. But yes, like the video if you enjoyed. Oh, and comment an idea for a topic you want me to talk about if you have any. I think that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
This is not real.